Welcome back to the latest Taom Shootout Series pool, live from Savannas Pool and Snooker Hall in Whitefield, Manchester. 2 matches through the afternoon and already 2 seeds have fallen. And our next match features 2 local favourites. Introducing first a young man with a big future, a 16-year-old. A 17-year-old who was 16 with his run to Milton Keynes semi-final. Can he go one better this afternoon? A warm welcome, please, for Kian Monaghan. And his opponent, also a local lad who says he's going to win this tournament. Let's find out as we welcome Kevin George.
Just like perfection, flawless, needs no correction, flawless, like no other, flawless, absolutely flawless.
Well, I think the crowd have been looking forward to this one.
Wow, I think we'll just let the crowd do their bit for this. A hell of an atmosphere. He's a popular kid anyway, but when you bring him to his own club, what an atmosphere. That gave me goosebumps. Now you can hear a pin drop.
I was in the bar area when when Kian arrived this morning, and he just went over to the Orange Media team, organisers of this event, and said, "Can I play in this today?" I said, "Yeah, I think you're okay, mate. We'll give you a go."
He's made a ball. He's made a ball. He's got a problem area whether he goes reds or yellows. It's not the simplest of starts, but it's a really confident young player, Kian. I think we're going to see him go into his problem area straight away. Beautiful shot. Beautifully controlled shot from Kian Monaghan. It's a tricky cutback, but if he does, he gets that, and he's broken another bad ball out as well there, and he's a confident start from this, I think now 17-year-old Kian Monaghan from his own club in Savannas. 2 beautiful shots first up to open this frame up. I was really impressed with his the way he handled the atmosphere at that first event. Being so young, being the youngest in the event, being the youngest that's ever played in the event, by quite a distance actually as well. And he kind of took to it like a duck to water, and you can just see how well practiced he is. They say about natural ability and natural talents, but I'm of the school of if you practice really, really hard at something, it just becomes natural. And I think we see, looking at a player here that's so confident in his own ability, it's really refreshing to see.
Yeah, taking no time to play his marker, put down his marker in this one.
Listen to the crowd go if he makes this black. Listen to him go.
Great start, perfect start from the crowd favourite, the local boy. Kian Monaghan up and running.
It's one thing having promise, one thing having a bit of a reputation as a good young up and coming player, but go straight out there and start off with a tough break and finish like that. Had a couple of tough shots and he absolutely nailed them. Cool as a cucumber from the youngster. Fearless.
And the winner of this could play Liam Dunster in the quarterfinals, because he's up next. He's won the last 2 of these events.
Can you just imagine what this crowd's going to be like if Kian goes up against who's now, along with Jordan Shepherd, one of the 2 dominant forces in this competition?
And
the crowd,
that would be second on this evening. So you think you're looking at around about 7:30 this evening?
Yeah, oh wow. A few more beers in them as well. Can only be good for atmosphere. And make no mistake, they know all about Liam Dunster. Any fans of this shootout will. But see what Kevin's got to offer, and so poor one there. I don't think he had a full pocket to kind of stick up for him a little bit there. I don't think he had a full pocket there, but Kian back in. Beautifully played.
Oh, wow. Well judged.
Beautifully played. I don't think he'd have been too bothered if he'd have just covered the pocket there, but needs to mind his work. Doesn't want to go crashing into the black here. I don't know if he's going to have to play this yellow off of the yellow at the bottom of the table, or whether it goes clean. He's going to have to play it off of it. And that's not disastrous.
Yeah, arguably better than him.
I'd agree, definitely. So, Kevin, let's see what you're made of.
Yeah. He said in the build-up to this event he was coming to it to win the tournament.
Yeah, I think as well that there's a little bit of jest in there. He's a funny character, Kevin. I think he's on his list of achievements. All he's got on there is local doubles champion. 32-year-old from Savannas. He's taking the tougher red into this middle. Oh, that's a brave shot. It's a brave shot from Kev, but it could have won in the frame if it had gone in. Didn't really have too many options there.
So 2 shots away from 2-0.
Yeah, 2 ways to play this. You could just play it with a tracer right hand side and bring the white up for the black into the middle, or you can screw back. There we go. Straight into the middle. Other players may have screwed back and brought the white out to the centre of the table and played a black into the bottom left, but all about how you feel. And here go that crowd.
Rolls it in.
Doesn't look phased at all, does he, Kian? Right there, not the strongest of breaks. I think he'll probably know better than most. That probably is a part of his game he needs to work on if he's to sort of continue to progress his game. Hasn't got the strongest of breaks. And we're going to see a chance here for Kevin George to work his way back into this match. Yeah, and I think he'll actually be going yellows here. So that was his free shot. So after the break, after a foul from the break, you've got one free shot, and your visit then starts from thereafter. So it's what you pot on your second visit, which is going to be the ball that the colour set that you're going to be on for that frame. He's taking yellows. Just needs to, the only thing that can really go wrong is the 2 yellows at the bottom of the table. Just needs to sneak behind to be able to play this bottom one first, which he's done nicely. This shot here really is the last thing that can go wrong. I don't know if he's got a full pocket, if at all. Here, does it pass that first yellow? You obviously think it goes. It does.
Yeah, no problem.
White's just going towards the black a little. He's not in perfect position. Should still get these. Has to, really. Can't afford to go 3-0 down. Look, he was just off angle, and he didn't want to send the white round table, so he's actually played the double to give himself perfect position, but has missed it. And from what was a good chance, Kian's now back at the table with a chance to make this 3-0. He's played that well. Played that really well. Just needs to mind the cue ball after this. It could flick off the red and go towards the middle pocket, which it has done, but he's played it at a good pace, a very well controlled shot. See a lot of the top players, they'll just point their cue at where they want the white to be, sort of sussing out their margin of error. And we see the cue ball there has gone exactly where Kian pointed his cue. Perfect position here to take a 3-0 lead.
Not straight in the middle of the pocket, but absolutely no problem.
No, he'd love to get the cue ball back exactly where it is now. Needs an angle. Doesn't want to be screwing up table. Would love to just be able to top it on and off this bottom cushion. I think he can stun across, actually. Yeah, didn't want to be doing that if he didn't have to, but making easy work of it, Kian. A tricky black.
But he makes it look an easy one.
Hammered it in.
And in the blink of an eye.
The confidence of the boy.
Green.
It's a nice break. He's made a ball, Kevin George. He's in first. Reds look nice. Yellows are one problem, 2 problem yellows, I suppose. I think we're going to see Kevin go reds.
We mentioned at the top that this is a brand new table, or a brand new cloth, I should say, on the table. It couldn't have been fresher. it was, let's say the work was completed around about 30 seconds before we went on air this afternoon. Basically what happened as they were rigging this morning, one of the team, Zach, I think, dropped one of the lights above onto the table and it ripped the cloth.
Wow.
So there was a bit of panic,
just
because
a bit.
we knew what time we were on air. So a phone call went in, a recommendation actually from Sally Marola, so thank you for recommending David, who came to do it, David Olive, from Clean Slate Pool and Snooker Services, who basically came at midday to recloth the table, very last minute, and finished 30 seconds before 1 o'clock, and here we are playing on it. So a great effort.
An incredible effort.
What could have been an absolute calamity.
An incredible effort, yeah, and we do have to thank those people for for making it happen, because
it
we
was
could
one of
have
them. I
been
just
saying,
kept
"Oh, no
looking
cloth."
at him, and I'm thinking, I'm not actually going to ask him how long, mate, because he needs every second here.
Yeah, he knew what he was up against. Yeah, they were actually thinking about using a different table for this first session, and then using this table for the evening session to if they couldn't do it in time. But luckily we just about got there, and a great finish
In
there
the
from
meantime,
Kevin George. Yeah,
while we're talking about reclothing the table, Kevin George making short work of frame number 4, and he'll be feeling a lot better now. That's
Yeah.
his first on the board.
Kian knows he's got a match in his hands. You see him kind of look across there and just say, okay, you're here to play. Well played, Kevin George. Even the black there, he only had half a pocket. It wasn't, they're not nice shots to play where the yellow's just kind of covering one side of the pocket. It's a really nice finish from Kevin.
Well, I think this frame will tell us whether or not we've got a match on our hands.
It will. Things will get really interesting if Kevin can take this frame. Again, not the greatest of sort of connections, and or you might call it like an explosion of the pack that didn't really sort of fly around the place. But he's made a couple of balls, Kian. Getting on
Kian's
with his
breaks
work.
at the moment appear to be more luck than judgment.
Yeah, something I think he'll be more than aware he needs to work on. He's a very ambitious young man. Could have come out better. See a containing safety there from Kian, just promoting his red towards that left middle pocket. Kind of safe in the knowledge that his 2 problem reds on the right hand side of the table are also Kevin's problem yellows. So a bit of a stalemate at the moment. Plenty of time left in the match, 18 minutes still. No need to rush or panic.
Still looks calm, doesn't he? But you're right. I think Kian will realise now that he is in a match when he thought he was probably running away for a 5-0.
Yeah, it was a good finish from Kevin. I mean, they were there, but they weren't easy. You know, he had a couple of shots that he had to get right, and he did get them right. And it'll be a real nerve settler for him. Has got the option here to pot this and screw into the red and yellow directly behind the white, and he has done. It's always going to be tough for it to come out good, and the problem now is once he plays this, every red goes for Kian. He could just stun into the yellow and leave the white glued to the red. He's played a good shot there. It's a clever shot from Kevin George.
Acknowledged by Kian as well.
Yeah. I'd assume friends off the table, playing from the same club as well. Probably played an awful lot against each other. It's advantage Kian in this frame so far.
Seem to play that bit of swerve round.
Yeah, here's your opening. If he can knock in this long ball, he seems to play these ones very confidently. It's beautifully cute.
Well, you said if he can knock this in, you knew it was going in, didn't you?
You knew it was going in there. Single ball potting seems to be up there with the best of them, Kian. It's weird because speaking to him before the event, he was asking, he wanted to sort of know who the wild card was, you know. And he said, "Who's the wild card, do you know?" And I said, "I don't know, I can't say, you know." And he kind of mentioned a couple of names, and he said, I wanted to know that if I drew the wild card, would I be favourite or not, kind of thing. And he spoke a little bit as if I'm thinking, do you realise how good you are?
Yeah.
You know, you shouldn't be thinking like that, you know.
Well, he's taking these expertly.
Exactly, and it confuses me a little bit, because when you speak to him, it's as if he's quite humble, but on the table, he clearly believes in himself, you know. Fearless.
Well, he's a frame away. There's the smile again. Patty McCarron will be his opponent in the next match after this one.
A fellow Scot, I believe.
Yeah, former junior and under 21 world champion.
Yeah,
15-second shot clock.
A very good player, Patty McCarron. We'll see later on as well Rob Wilson, who may not be a familiar name to shootout fans, but he's a former under 21s world champion as well. He's only 35 now, used to be a professional in the IPA, and has kind of had a bit of time away from the game, but very, very good player.
Wasn't the best shot he's played today. He's all right though.
Oh, and
hello.
He's got the blackout as well. It's absolutely beautiful. Not only has he got the blackout, he's held the white for perfect position on the red in the bottom half of the table. Now, if you leave yourself a good angle now, I don't think that is.
Well, that was shot of the day so far for me, that.
Yeah, I don't think you can just top this through. I think you need to kind of stun it a little bit. He's just run beside it. Nicely done. Now, you got to say, I mean, this is going to be 5-1 Kian now, and it's been a really, following on from his debut in Milton Keynes, it's a really, really impressive performance from being the young kid on the block to now coming into this match as favourite, it's fair to say. He's handled it really well.
This plaque for place in the quarter-finals for the local favourite, Kian Monaghan. What a performance, what a start from the young man who's holding the hopes of this venue. A thumping 5-1 victory. He goes through, and we'll find out who will play in the quarter-finals after this short break.